For all the noise of this election campaign, all the hype, hoopla, and horse race, the decision facing you, the voter, on Election Day can be boiled down to one fundamental choice. Do you want transformation or restoration? Do you want to transform America into something resembling the rest of the world, or restore an America based on our founding principles? The difference between the vision of transformation and that of restoration can be found in the likelihood that America ultimately changes course. Choosing restoration only means we have a chance to reverse course and reinstitute the founding principles that build America into a great nation. It is far from certain that we will have either the capacity or will to stay that course. But choosing transformation will complete a century-long process from which there will be no turning back. The full-blown welfare state based on the progressive agenda that's been steadily adopted since the days of President Woodrow Wilson has now climaxed with the passage of health care legislation granting the federal government control of 1/6 of the nation's economy. If we choose transformation and thus validate the leftist policies of recent years, this massive entitlement program is certain to take a permanent place in American life alongside the myriad other benefits which people increasingly view as their right or entitlement, and which we have so far refused to restructure. The entitlement society not only fosters dependence rather than independence, and focus on self rather than the well-being of the nation, it represents a clear and present danger to our future. These programs account for more than half of a federal budget that is wildly out of balance. We've been spending $1 trillion more than we collect every year and borrowing the rest. This has led to a national debt that will exceed $17 trillion by year's end. There's only one word to describe that: unsustainable. Even if we choose restoration, there is so much damage to repair and so little time before we reach the fiscal cliff. In addition to the national debt, a stagnant economy, and high unemployment, we face the looming threat of massive tax increases and spending cuts in the next 3 months that could drive our economy back into the economic ditch. But America has always found its way out of these crises because we summoned the will to do so. Choosing the right candidates on Election Day will be just one of many steps in the process of restoring a more limited government and a more free market. We must then both cut and grow, cut the federal government down to size, and grow the economy enough to create the jobs that will breathe life back into an economy gasping for air, and generate the tax revenues that must be applied as a tourniquet to our national debt. If we can't summon the will to do both, then the America we know will vanish into the fog of history, and we will ultimately become just another name on the roster of nations. We didn't get into this mess overnight. It's taken 100 years, and we won't fix it overnight. But the journey of 100 miles surely begins with the first step, and that comes on November 6th.